Hello everyone, welcome back. We're exactly 1 week into the league right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I think the new ascendancies are really cool. I like the idol system. I think it's really interesting. I've been playing with it for a bit, and I think it's really fun. Uh, it's probably going to get implemented at some point in the core game, of course, with some balance changes because some strategies are kind of overtuned right now. But overall, I think it's going to be a really great addition. I don't think I'm going to miss the Atlas tree that much. I think it's actually better this way, but we will have to see. Um, Overall, I'm really enjoying this league, especially this build. I think it's really fun. I'm curious to think what your opinion is, so don't forget to drop a comment and let me know. As far as the build goes, I've always enjoyed playing this build. It's not the first time I'm playing it. I've been playing it for like 3 or 4 leagues so far, and it's always fun to play, especially at this point when you not have enough gear to run pretty much everything you want, like Wave 15 Simulacrums, T17s, juiced maps, whatever you want. And it's a really fun playstyle and also a relaxed playstyle. It's basically a one button build, so you can pretty much play while you're watching a movie, listening to a podcast. It doesn't really need targeting or whatnot. You just use your Cyclone and run through maps, and stuff dies around you. So about the build, I'm gonna walk you through the upgrades I got, the changes I've made, and so on. So the first thing you might notice is the Headhunter. If you watch my previous videos, you know that I've been saving for one, and I had like 50 divs saved up for it, and guess what? It ended up dropping in a simulacrum, actually in a wave 8 simulacrum, which was kind of weird. I think this is the first headhunter that I've found so far since I've been playing this game, which, yeah, I don't know. Maybe unlucky, maybe lucky, who knows. But yeah, I was really happy to see it drop because I was going to buy it anyway. So when it dropped, I just bought instead a Progenesis because it helps a lot with staying alive. One of the biggest downside of this build is that you sometimes get one shot, especially until you build enough defenses to avoid that. As long as you don't get one shot, you're pretty much just fine. So, besides the Headhunter, I also managed to get a Grasping Mail. I got this by identifying it. I bought like six. I think this was the sixth one I identified, so it was kind of lucky. I got it with these suffixes. It identified directly with fire and cold resistance, so I just slapped Eldritch Chaos to get a max life roll. I settled for tier 3 because the max one it could roll on this item level was a tier 2. I didn't think it's worth to waste the currency for like 10 more life. And I also crafted these max life, max mana. As far as the implicits, I didn't really know if I should go for the less damage or fortify. If I went for fortify, it would actually open up a slot to use impale in, and that would have been really nice. So what I did is I used Grand Eldritch currency on both of them. So I figured I'd just keep the first one that goes to perfect. If it happened to be resistances, that I would have just replaced the Eater of Worlds one with Fortify. But it seems that I got less damage taken, so I kept that and ended up with this one. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with it. The best one I could use would probably be instead of resistances to have like a dex roll and then craft on it a increased attributes, but this will do just fine. I may put a enchant on it, but I'm not sure it's worth it because it would just give me like 20 more life or some resistances. But yeah, it's definitely something I will consider. Um, For the boots, these are the same boots that I crafted last time. You know them, they are really awesome, and I really doubt I'm going to change them this league. Yeah, really awesome boots. Can't say much about that. In terms of the helm, right now I'm using a Black Sun Crest. This is not something I would go for instead of a Devoto, but the reason I went for this is the 80% cost and reservation, which I actually needed because I am now running a Purity of Elements as well. So until I get a Devoto with 80%, I'm just going to use this. I saw a few Devotos for sale, but they were really, really expensive, and the people who were selling them didn't really want to negotiate, so I'll just try later. Maybe some other one get posted. For the amulet, yeah, I have a new Astromantis. This one has a Purity of Elements Corruption. I actually took this because this build is kind of hard to slot in all the skills. If you want to run Purity of Elements, but you can't get this type of amulet, then you can just use a skill gem, and instead of Poacher's Mark, you can go for a setup that has cast on damage taken, and you can link Molten Shell and something like Vulnerability, and then you free up a slot to use Purity of Elements. I also got a ring. I wasn't as lucky with crafting this ring. I went through a few failures before I got the max life roll, and I also used quite a few essences. I think in average, I was actually aiming for a all resistance mod, which you get in around 60 average, but I ended up using like 150 essences before I actually got this double res that I ended up keeping. But overall, it's also a pretty nice ring. I don't know if I'm going to change it anytime soon. For the other ring, I'm still using Death Rush, and that's about it in terms of gear. In terms of the skill tree, this is how it looks now. The only thing that I did change is that I got another Brutal Restraint. This is like the second best that I can get for this build, 819. It gives a lot of great stats. I think it gives 4 dexterity percent increases, which is really great. It also gives some accuracy, movement speed, attack speed, yeah, and flash charges. It's really a great jewel. The only better one, I think it's 909, which gives like 5 percent increased dexterity. No, it's even better, but there aren't any on the market right now. And that's about it for the skill tree. I will also, oh no, I did add as well a small cluster jewel with the mana reservation, efficiency, and uncompromising. All of these were necessary so that I could slot in Purity of Elements. I did end up losing a bit of damage to do that, but in the long run, it's totally worth it. I'm overcapped with the resistances, and I'm also immune to elemental ailments, which is a great deal, especially for Simulacrum, because I was running a lot of Simulacrums. If you're not running Simulacrums and you're just going through regular maps, this is probably a bit overkill, and you can just get away with freeze immunity and shock immunity. Those are usually enough. But in Simulacrums, I had a lot of chill to deal with, Scorch, which decreased my resistances, so it was actually the best choice to just go for the Purity of Purity of Elements. So yeah, now I'm capped, everything is fine. I'll of course show some gameplay footage with how this build is performing at the moment. And in terms of future upgrades, I will probably go for a devoto when I manage to find one, and maybe try to get a better army. I'm not really sure about that. But overall, I think the build is looking pretty well. The character is doing fine. Like I said, it can do just about anything. So pretty happy with. So I'm really curious to know what you think about the league, how your progression has been going, and if you feel the same way. And if you're playing this build, what's your opinion on it? How's it been going? And did you have any troubles with it? Feel free to drop a comment and let me know. As always, if you enjoy the content, remember to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.